Hello everybody, welcome back. So I'm making another one of these long videos which isn't released or made on the actual day. So I'm away, by the way, I'm not here. I'm actually just this video was made on Tuesday. But it should hopefully make just as much sense today as it would have done on Tuesday or next Tuesday or the Tuesday after that. So if you watched my video yesterday about the institutional bull run and why I think that's going to happen in the 4-year market cycle, which is performing exactly the same as it always did, and blah 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 blah, all the reasons to be bullish as we continue to make lower lows. Is that something? Is that real? You might want to think about how you're going to perform and how you're going to try and play this next bull market. Now, me, I trade. That's how I make my money. That's how I'm able to sort of sit here at 1:45 on a Tuesday, wearing my sort of like lay about the house dad t-shirt. But most people don't have either the capacity, the ability, the skill or the time to actually make trades, which is perfectly fine. Like I say, you might have the skill to do it, but you won't have the time. I suffer from that having 2 kids, I can tell you that now. But there's other ways to go about it. So I've made the case many times that some of the best trades that I made in the last bull run were a simple buy and hold situation, and all the little intricate bits that I did in between basically paled in comparison to what actually was yielded from just basically buying once or buying a few times and not getting clever and allowing it to reach full maturity. So Matic being the main one, but another good one that could have happened for me would have been ADA. I bought ADA around 4 cents and sold it at 14 cents thinking I was an absolute genius, and I hold an enormous amount of resentment when I look at the price of that coin even today. So it goes to show that trading is fine, it's good, and it's lucrative, but sometimes trying to get too clever, you just end up shooting yourself in the foot. Now this might not always be the case. I've bought some things that that basically never worked out. There's no guarantees in crypto, but there's one thing you can take away, which is that hodlers for the most part do pretty well, so long as you've not bought an absolute pile of shit. So like I say, if you watched the video yesterday, you know about why I think keeping a close eye on crypto at this specific moment and over the next few months is probably going to be one of the key things you could ever do. And if you're thinking about buying and holding, whether it's Bitcoin or certain altcoins of significance, not piles of shit basically, then yeah, this is all a reasonable time to start keeping your eye on those charts and waiting for what would look like an appropriate level to buy in. And then what do you do after you buy it? Where are you going to put it? Are you going to put it in a cold wallet? You're going to put it on an old laptop, that's never connected to the internet. That's fine, but your laptop might break, and then you can put it on a ledger. That's also pretty good as well, and there's staking options available for you there. But if you're like me, a simple being, then platforms, so long as you trust the platform, might be the better option for you. They make it easy, and there's a variety. I've listed 4, and I will go through those 4 now. And this is for not just buying. I'm not saying just buy your tokens on here. You might already own the tokens, but where are you going to stake them, and how are you going to stake them? So let's have a look at the listed 4 then, shall we? In no particular order, and there's pros and cons to each of them. So first of all, there's our good old friend Coinbase. It's sort of like it feels like it might be a thing of the past, Coinbase. They haven't really done anything special outside of the BlackRock partnership. So a lot of people are saying that you hold your coins in Coinbase. If they go bankrupt, then they take all your coins. I think that is probably the case for any platform, in all fairness, which is why I've listed the ones that I don't think are going to go bankrupt. There's always loads of fun, especially in bear markets. I don't see anything happening to Coinbase, but I think that is true for everything, so just always be aware of that. But Coinbase is okay. I stake Algorand on here just through default, really. The good thing about holding coins and staking them on Coinbase is that there's no lockup, so all you need to do is either buy them or transfer them to Coinbase and just leave them there, and day by day, every single day, you earn staking rewards which are given to you on a daily basis. And if you ever needed to sell everything, let's just say an asteroid was about to hit Earth and you need to sell, you're not locked into anything, so you just sell it all straight away. So the drawback to this is that the staking rewards aren't massively high, but the benefit obviously is that they're not locked up for 30 days, 90 days, 120 days or whatever, and you've got access to them at any time, ready to just press the trigger at that very moment that you need to sell them. I suppose one of the drawbacks is like I say, that the rewards aren't enormous, and there's not much choice. There's actually very little choice here, to be honest with you, very little choice. This is all there is. So outside of Coinbase, you know, like I say, the benefit being you can sell them straight away. The drawback is that there's not much choice at all. Right, let's move on to the next one. This is a new one for me, SwissBorg, right? I've only just set an account up and I've been looking at it quite closely since. They don't have lockups like Binance and Crypto.com, which we'll move on to next. So that you don't have to lock any of these coins up that you can see, and these are the rewards that you get for what is similar to the way that it's similar to Binance's flexible staking, which is, you know, you effectively kind of lock it up. You can get it back that day, you can get it back the next day. So within a 24-hour period, you can redeem them, but the rewards are lower than locked up staking. And some of these match more or less Coinbase's, apart from the choices are much bigger. There is other types of staking available on SwissBorg, and SwissBorg is relatively small, but they're also quite what would be the word? Reputable. They're reputable. So you can transfer funds into SwissBorg. You can buy it. It's all in euros, which as of today is the same as $1. So you can look at it and go, oh right, so that's how many euros, aka dollars, and blah blah blah. But it's all priced in euros because it's Swiss, obviously. But yeah, you can throw your tokens into here and stake them passively, get daily, just like Coinbase, get rewards daily and sell them at any time. So you're not locked up. You've got decent rewards. It's reputable. It's a decent choice for staking anyway. So that would come in, like I say, in no particular order. They've all got their pros and cons. So this is like Coinbase but better when it comes to staking. So just think about it like that. It's like Coinbase but better. No locked up staking, and rewards generated every day, and the capacity to sell more or less whenever you want. The next one is our good old friend Binance, the jack of all trades. Now, I would say master of none, but it's not, because spot trading is absolutely by far superior on Binance. Like, they are everyone needs to have a Binance account if you ever want to buy, if you want to trade. I mean, spot trading and I suppose futures trading, Binance is the one-stop shop. You can do everything on Binance. And for those who don't like Binance for whatever reason, because they made you verify your account, come on now. Crypto is about to enter into the mainstream. We need to verify our accounts. Have you ever set up an account with traditional market trading? Then you've got to put in everything. Your national insurance number, the colour of your underpants. You've got to put in everything. So it's fine. In fact, you should welcome it, because if a platform wants you to verify your account with KYC, then you should say, oh, finally, not a Wild West style platform. Of course I'll verify my account. I'm very pleased to do that. You're towing the line. No threat of regulation issues over here. So if you don't have a Binance account, you should really get one. They are basically the best. But when it comes to staking, they have an enormous amount of options, but you generally have to lock them up. You can do something called flexible staking, which basically gives you small returns on a daily basis, and you can unlock it that day with maybe like an hour that goes by. You can get it back, or what they would generally say to do is you unsubscribe to the flexible staking and you get your crypto back tomorrow, about 24 hours later. So yeah, you can do that, but if you want to lock up the staking for the bigger rewards, you would have to lock them up for either 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, or 120 days. Now, I use Binance for a lot of things. Like I say, it's a jack of all trades kind of thing, and I do lock up some of my tokens, but the problem I often find is that it's not as simple as it looks. So you can't, let's just use, you can see these. Some of these are grayed out, which means that they're at capacity. You can't lock them up. You can't lock up Aeon for 30 days or 60 days. You can only do it for 120 days. And if you were to do it for 120 days, you wouldn't be able to lock up all of your Aeon. If you were like an Aeon whale, you'd probably be only able to lock up a small portion. The longer you lock them up, the bigger the rewards. The less time you lock them up, the smaller the rewards. But the problem is there's normally not much of a cap. You could probably be quite a comfortable whale and lock them up in 30-day periods and get decent returns. But when it comes to the upper end with the higher amounts, you can only lock up a small portion, sometimes very, very small. So these can be like, I wouldn't say falsified, but they're not entirely They make it look better than it is, basically. They make it look better than it is. So, yeah, the good thing, though, is that, you know, if you do have or are able to lock these things up, you can pretty much lock up anything. There's so much choice here. I mean, pretty much any coin that you've got, you'd be hard-pressed to find something that you couldn't lock up or even put in flexible staking, and you get decent returns on them. But remember, that is not what I'm getting for my locked-up BNB. I'm getting much less than that because I'm locking it up over smaller periods of time, and if I were to get that, I wouldn't be able to lock up much. I can't remember the amount, but I think it might even be as small as one single BNB over 120 days. So don't fall for the size of the percents. There's variables within this. But again, I'm not dissing Binance at all. Binance is, like I say, the be all and end all when it comes to crypto. They are the mothership that provides all. They just, unfortunately, you know, kind of make it look a little bit better than it is when it comes to staking. But if you want choice, this is where you're going to get it. Everything can be locked up or at least staked in some manner, but you have to lock it up, obviously, and you may not even be able to lock it up. So we'll just use this for an example. Tomo offers 21.49% for a 90-day lockup. That's great. Okay, lovely. But you wouldn't be able to do it. That's all sold out. That's all sold out. And the chances are you probably wouldn't be able to lock up more than a few $100s of Tomo at that particular level. So there you go. And last but not least, like I say, there's no particular order in this. It's not like I'm saying this is better than the other or anything like that. But Crypto.com, I about 3 or 4 months ago decided to venture into Crypto.com and get myself one of those lovely metal cards that some people seem to have. And nobody's ever batted an eyelid. I take it to the shop and I'm like, do you take metal? I don't do that, but in my eyes I do that, and people don't even notice. I'm like, ugh. But that aside from it being metal, which the novelty wears off almost instantly, there's a lot of staking options on Crypto.com, which are actually quite good. Again, they are you have to lock these up, and there's no a massive amount basically that you have to lock up or anything like that, or a smaller amount. So it's kind of floating in the middle. It's not it's not tricky like Binance, where you may or may not be able to do it. They might have already been sold out, and it's not as flexible as SwissBorg or Coinbase, for instance. But it's decent. It's pretty decent. And so these are the options that you've got. Not an enormous amount of options, not a huge amount of options, I have to say, but much bigger than Coinbase. Probably about the same as SwissBorg. Not as much as as Binance, but at least what you see here is what you're going to get. And you can lock even up stable coins and get decent returns back. So when it comes to staking, like I say, I have no real preference. So I'm using all of these apart from SwissBorg, which I'm getting probably over the next month or so. I might put some money into that, and the reason for it is that I've not bought the bottom yet, like when it comes to altcoins, because again, Bitcoin's one thing, but altcoins, they can crash hard as we are still within this bear market. There's no confirmation that it's over, but when it does come to be over, I am going to be picking up lots of altcoins, and I am going to try and not be too clever with them, and I am going to put them into some of these, if not, well, probably all of them, because let's face it, I'm already in all of these apart from SwissBorg at the moment, and stake them for the duration of what I believe to be a 3-year bull market. And if you look at these returns that you get on, I mean, this is just one thing, but I mean, just the returns are quite good. They're much better than having it in a bank. We expect the crypto to go up over time anyway, and you'll be staking the balance throughout a 3-year period. Remember, this is investment purposes. This isn't trading. I'll still be trading like an absolute beast on Binance, but there's always going to be a place in my heart for those winners that took place in the last bull market, like Matic, for instance, and what could have been a really good one with ADA. That, like I say, is live and learn, isn't it, really? And to buy, hold, and stake. Now, there'll be loads of comments on here, if anyone watches this video, by the way, where people say, you can get this special thing and do this other thing and do this other thing, and then you'll get more than that. You don't have to stake it on here, blah, 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 blah. Most people aren't like you, my friend. Most people aren't like you. And in many cases, most people will not be able to or bothered to go about an intricate way of staking on a specific platform to increase the yield by 50% or whatever, which obviously would be better for those who can do that. But for the most part, no one's going to be able to do that. And you know what is good about having everything on a platform, a trusted platform anyway, is that when it comes to it, you can sell it on the platform too. There's none of this moving everything around or whatever. It's all there, it's all done and dusted. You take it out, it's ready to go, and you sell when the time is right, with all those staking rewards that have accumulated over 1 year, 2 year, or maybe even 3 years. Which will be a lot, which will have all incurred enormous price increases as the crypto goes up in the next bull market. So, like I say, I'm trying to counter that comment when it does come, which is that you're staking, you're wrong. This is for the masses, all right. I'm trying to make things easy. This is what all these platforms try to do as well. They're trying to make it easy, and the idea is sometimes easy is better for everybody. And of course you could make more money staking it a different way, but sometimes it's just nice to have it all in one place, or in my case 3 and possibly 4 places. But at least I could sell it there. So there we go. That's pretty much it. It's all in preparation for this next bull market, which is in my opinion going to start either the end of this year or into next year, and then continue for 3 years. And so if you're choosing to stay away from trading, for instance, and you would rather just simply sit back and invest, this is probably the best way, or one of the best ways to think about doing it. My friends who don't, like crypto but are desperate to get in, I've told them to stay off and hold off until, we get to some significant lows. Just like, other mums and dads in the school queue or whatever, when they ask what it is that I do, and they're like, oh, I want to do that, and I say, well, hold off a minute. I'll help you. I'll guide you through the process, and I'll prescribe you the easiest way of doing crypto as we approach what could be a really nice bull run. But I don't try and shill them onto Binance or whatever. The things that I would tell them to do is Crypto.com and Coinbase, and maybe SwissBorg. Like I say, I need to look into that a little and actually use it. I've never used it, you see, but it does look quite good for this kind of investment style crypto buy, hold, stake. So yeah, I mean, like I say, for those sort of people, for most people who this is their first time in crypto, I wouldn't try and get clever trading. I would buy, hold, and stake. And I would do it on a reputable platform like one of these 4. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.